In this video, I'm going to share with you the secret to quickly raising your vibration that no one talks about. Now, before we look at that, we're going to need to uncover a couple of things. First, you've got to understand how important vibration actually is. I've built this demonstration for you today to visually show you how much the invisible effects matter. I'll get to that demo in just a bit. Everything in the universe is in constant motion and constant vibration. Even though this desk right now feels solid, it's actually moving. Everything has a natural frequency or a natural rate in which it's vibrating, which this demonstration will show you visually what that means. And your unwanted experiences in your life have a specific frequency, as well as the dreams and realities you really want to experience in life also have a different frequency. In order to experience those, you're going to have to match the frequency of them. And you right now are in a specific frequency. Your specific frequency is made up of your thoughts, actions, and the driving force behind those two, your beliefs. And even though your frequency might subtly shift throughout your day, whatever your dominant vibration is throughout the day after day, week after week, that frequency is where you're going to attract from and what you're going to energetically match in your outside circumstances. So for this demonstration, I want to show you how your vibration affects matter. I'm going to be using these two different glasses, and like I mentioned earlier, everything in this universe has a natural frequency. These two glasses look really similar, but since they're different sizes and different subtle shapes, they actually have two different distinct frequencies. Now, the reason these ping pong balls are hanging down is to show you when these glasses start to move, start to vibrate. And how I'm going to do that is actually I'm going to use this speaker. The speaker's connected to my phone, and my phone's going to be using an app that generates frequencies. So you can see I was being the lower frequency, and I was not able to affect and pull in the potential of all this goodness. Maybe this is abundance and love, but me sending out this frequency, this vibration, affected and collapsed the potential into particle. I was interacting, I was resonating, and when you resonate with something, you amplify that and you collapse it into particle form. So you continue to interact, you continue to attract people, circumstances, and experiences that you no longer want to. The only way to change that is to change who you are being. Now let me set this to a different frequency. You can see that when I played the lower frequency, it only interacted with the matter, with the 3D that resonated with the frequency. Even though this reality, these dream experiences exist right now, you're not matching the vibration. So if you know this and you're trying to raise your vibration, why can't you? So one of the main issues that comes up when people try to quickly raise their vibration is you might think, okay, what can I do? What new strategy can I implement that will raise up my energy, that will take me out of this low point? You could be reading comments maybe, and you watch a video and this person's going on and on about how successful they were trying this thing, and you think, wow, I tried that thing and it didn't do anything. What's wrong with me? And the low thoughts and feelings you had about yourself, which is why you were trying to raise your vibration, they could actually double down. You could actually feel worse. And another thing I found in my own experience was, yeah, I would go through the motions of these different strategies and techniques, but when it came down to it, I was waiting for the outside to change to validate myself, or to have permission, or maybe to change the way I saw myself. If that person saw me as successful, then I would be successful. Or if they saw me worthy and deserving, then I would feel worthy and deserving. But in the meantime, that energy is actually self-rejecting and self-abandoning. So a lot of times in the pursuit of people trying to raise their vibration, they're actually still stuck in a self-rejecting and a self-abandoning energy, which then keeps them in the same exact vibration, even though they're doing new things. Their inner world hasn't changed. Therefore, what they attract, what they experience, what they perceive of is exactly the same. So then what is the secret to quickly raising your vibration? Well, it's going to come in two parts. The first part is going to be for you to understand you were born a high vibrational soul in a human body, meaning that you naturally want to resonate and be at this higher level frequency. That is natural to you. So if that's natural, what ideas, what actions, what beliefs could you be attached to or anchored to that are pulling you down to these low vibrational energies that are keeping you in shame and guilt, which are the lower vibrational emotions that we can have? You don't have to force your energy up. It naturally wants to be higher. So it's about learning how to let go of these energies. That is how you naturally will rise up to who you actually are, the truth of yourself. So how do you start letting go of these energies? Gabor Mate says that trauma is not what happened to you. It's about what happened inside of you because of that event. Meaning that you can actually change inside how you relate to it and how those past experiences affect you current day. Which is to say, you start energetically disconnecting from them and you can actually go back and naturally elevate to that high vibrational truth of yourself. How I did this personally in my own life, which dramatically changed my pattern in romantic relationships. I continued in my past to have relationships that were emotionally unsatisfying, that there was a lot of hot and cold or on and off. And I consistently wondered, are they going to leave me? Are they going to abandon me? Am I good enough? Are they interested in somebody else? That was all I knew of relationships, and it was very chaotic. It was very stressful. I was constantly anxious and wondering what I needed to do in order to win their attention back. It wasn't until I learned how to do this where my dynamic in my relationships, my vibration in regards to romantic love completely changed. And I was able to attract a loving, safe, secure relationship into my life that I'm in today, where it feels stable and consistent. And the way I did that was learning how to re-relate to the past. Now, you're not trying to deny or suppress or ignore what has happened. You're simply going to use all the wisdom that you have and the complexity and reasoning ability of your adult mind now to look back on experiences that have happened to you that are actually forming these low-level beliefs or these low perspectives of yourself. Because these things happened before the age of 6 years old. If you think back to the origins of when you first didn't feel worthy, when you started to wonder if other people would value you, are they going to leave you? They all have their origins of a very small child that you experienced, and you did not have the complex thinking that you do now. So you could have taken a meaning or put a story on why somebody treated you that, specifically your caretakers. Maybe you grew up around a caretaker who, when you achieved, then you would get a lot of love and attention. But if you didn't have a really good grade or performed first at some event, then you'd kind of get a cold shoulder, or maybe you wouldn't get much attention. So you thought, oh no, I must achieve in order to maintain connections. Maybe your caregiver looked very different. Maybe they were verbally abusive. Maybe they were physically violent with you. And you could have thought, wow, my caretaker can't even value me. I must be a complete piece of trash. I am just so worthless. Both of those experiences are through the eyes of that innocent child who deserved every need they had to be met. But unfortunately, there's another human being, the caretaker, who is not a bad person, who we're not blaming, who we're not trying to guilt or shame, but you've got to honor your experience. What we're trying to do here is you to see what dynamics, what situations you were a part of, not relive them. Do not go back and relive it through the eyes of your small self, but look back through your now mind, seeing, oh, okay, I can see that, yeah, my adult caretaker actually had a lot going on. I'm not going to guilt, I'm not going to shame, I'm not going to blame them. They're a human being, and I deserved more, and I needed more. I needed more than I had access to That doesn't make me needy. That doesn't make me selfish. That means I had needs that were not met. Starting to understand that and looking back to those experiences and realize you didn't deserve it. It was not anything you lacked. It was not anything you didn't deserve or a lack of worth by any means. It was those caretakers who did not have the skills, maybe emotional capacity, maybe emotional maturity, or just the understanding to know what you needed. But if you can start to see those situations differently, oh, my parent thought that if I achieved, then they would be a better parent. And when I didn't achieve, then they felt really bad and they took that out on me. Maybe that was what your experience was. But you can see that had nothing to do with you. Or maybe your parent told you that. What's wrong with you? Why don't you look like those other kids? Why can't you be like them? But if you can think back and realize, wow, my parent was projecting on me. Again, they're a human being, doesn't make them bad. However, I needed a hell of a lot more. And because of the dynamics you're in, because you are dependent, you are powerless as a kid, you are relying on that adult when they're emotionally immature, it makes it really hard for you to understand yourself. Going back and starting to see that you deserved, you've always been worthy, you've always been valuable, and starting to change your perspective on early on memories, how you were treated. The more you go back and you re-reason on why things happened and start to upgrade that story from your higher level of reasoning, it allows you to let go of these attachments to these ideas that aren't really about you. They were never about you, and you can let them go now, which is going to instantly raise your vibration, instantly change your perspective of yourself, your ability to receive that which is equal vibrationally to you. Now, the critical next step to using this to quickly raise your vibration is going to be to understand how to apply it to your real life situations. This next video right here is going to show you exactly how to do that so you can start tapping into the power now. So check it out right here.